I'm here with winemaker Meghan Zobeck of Burgess Cellars, which was recently purchased by Heights, and she's the new winemaker starting in 2020, which unfortunately was not a great year to start. Tell us a little bit about that first season and some of the things that you're now dealing with as you get ready and cleaning up from those fires.
Well, we unfortunately purchased the winery, or finalized the purchase of the winery 2 weeks before the fires, which was really heartbreaking. I think we all understand it's a new chapter in the history of Burgess, so we're excited to turn the page. So currently we're dealing with a little bit of cleanup, and we're focusing on the vineyards, which largely are doing really well. So we've just finished a little bit of pruning, and we're kind of observing the cover crops right now and how they are starting to come back. We planted a lot of pollinator-friendly cover crops so that we can feed the native bee populations out here. So we're excited that those are coming up post a couple of rains that we just had.
Yeah, that looks good. So you have kind of a confluence of the old and new regimes coming in here. So ground cover that's coming up over what used to be the older regime. You've got some nicely pruned vines here. These date to when?
1991 actually, so these are some of the oldest on the property.
Cabernet Sauvignon?
Cabernet Sauvignon, right. Mostly Cabernet Sauv out here. We've got some newer plantings of Cab Franc and a little bit of Zin.
But you got a lot of work to do. You have to replace some of these trellis posts, as you can see here. I mean, is this a clean slate? Are you building off what was here? This is a lot going on.
We're building off a little bit of what was here. We definitely want to try to save the 1991 vines. For the most part, they're really resilient, fortunately. We have that going for us with vines. But 1991, we love old vines, so we're trying to do everything we can to preserve these and keep these around for long past the time we're here.
But in 2020, there'll be no wine from Burgess because the cellar did go down in the fire, unfortunately. Looking ahead to 2021, what are the wines that you're looking forward to most?
Honestly, I'm really looking forward to making Cab from this old vineyard. The 1991 plantings on this side of the hill and that side of the hill as well, where we just were at. But those are what I'm most excited about. And
you threw a term at me before that I don't hear very often in terms of wine farming. It's not organic, it's not biodynamic, it's not sustainable, it's not conventional, it's
regenerative.
So talk about that for a minute. What's regenerative farming?
Yes, okay, so regenerative focuses on soil health. So essentially what we are looking to do is not to till, which is easy to do up here because it's a steep hillside anyway, so not convenient for tilling. So you keep living roots in the ground, and what that does is help sequester carbon. In addition to that, you try to reduce tractor passes, so you might use sheep, which is becoming more and more popular. It's a great way to reduce the height of your cover crop, also kind of aerate and fertilize the soils.
And this is the first time this has been done by you somewhere in Napa Valley, because you have a relatively short career here. You're new to the wine industry still. You were doing what before?
I was negotiating player contracts for the Denver Broncos. Natural segue.
All right, and then now you're in the vineyards doing regenerative farming and working on one of the more historical labels in the valley in Burgess. So
yes,
that's a big change in a short period of time.
Yeah, I feel honored. I think I've always loved history, so my huge draw here was the untold history of the place. My first Napa Valley harvest was actually at Stag's Leap Wine Cellars, and Warren Winiarski's first job was at Burgess Cellars before it was Burgess Cellars, back when it was Souverain. So the historic winery here that unfortunately we lost was home to many Napa Valley giants before me.
All right, well, you're bringing it full circle. You've got, what, 30, 40, 50 years of winemaking in front of you now?
That is correct.
Meghan Zobeck, the winemaker at Burgess Cellars, thanks for talking to us in the vineyards here, and good luck to you going forward.
Thanks, James.